Back in 2015, Nvidia released the Shield TV. Fast forward 2 years later, and we now have a refresh of the Shield TV. But has much changed, and is it worth the upgrade? Stay tuned as I compare the 2015 and 2017 models.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Paul from Respect the Tech, and a friend of mine just picked up the 2017 refresh of the Nvidia Shield TV, and I currently own the 2015 version. So what I'm going to go ahead and do in this video is do a quick unboxing of this one and do an up-close look and side-by-side comparison of the differences between the two, and then just go over some other things as well. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. So right away, looking at the box, this is actually marketed a bit different than the one that I had actually picked up initially. They're actually advertising this one as the 4K HDR Android TV. Now, when I picked mine up, I believe, it's been so long, it actually has, I believe, the 16, just says 16 gigabytes because that's the one that I actually have. This one right here is also the 16 gigabyte variant. Mind you, this one currently retails for $199.99. They also do have a pro version for $100 more, but it does give you 500 gigabytes instead of 16 gigabytes. And it also has a couple of different things as well, which I'm going to go ahead and actually mention further on in this video. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into this unboxing. So they have pull tabs on the back, but that's no fun. I got the Batman knife on deck. I'm going to go ahead and open this bad boy up. See what's inside. Quick slice here. Quick slice here. Alright. All set. Alright. Oh wow. This is a lot smaller than I initially anticipated. Now, one of the big things that really surprised me about this refresh is the internals are practically the exact same thing. You're actually getting the same Tegra X1 processor. You're still getting the 64-bit CPU. Both actually, the 2015 and the 2017 have HDR support. They both actually offer Google Assistant. So a lot of the internals on this are actually very similar. The big difference between the two 16 gigabyte variants is this one is a lot smaller than the one that I currently use. As you guys can see here, I'm going to actually give you guys a closer look at that. Wow. Oh, and then that's another noticeable difference is this one actually comes bundled with the remote. Now, on mine previously, it just came with the regular game controller. You weren't able to actually get the remote. Now, they did have bundles. I actually picked mine up as a bundle through Amazon where they sent the remote separate, but it didn't cost anything. But this one actually comes with the remote now. So it's pretty interesting to see that they actually bundle this together now. I never actually used mine. I actually use the Harmony remote for controlling my media devices, so it hardly gets any playtime at all. So it not really a big deal to me. Now, before we get further into the box, I'm going to go ahead and go up close as far as what's on the console itself. Now, as far as the ports go, we have two USBs. We have an HDMI port, you have your Ethernet port, and then you have a power adapter. And now going further into the box, oh wow, we have the new game controller. Now this is also one of the big differences between the 2015 and the 2017 variant, is that the controller is shaped much different than what you actually initially get with the previous version. The previous version kind of gave me a feel that was much more similar to like the original Xbox, the very first Xbox, which is like the big size controller. It definitely isn't too uncomfortable. I know some people will probably prefer something like this. I strongly feel like this is much more game friendly, especially for like shooters or just anything in general. Overall, I do like the size of this one much better, but I wasn't too against the bigger size just because I've always been an Xbox guy. So no harm, no foul. Another noticeable difference is on this remote, they actually have an always-on microphone that's listening for the Google Assistant. Again, on the 2015, the mic, you actually have to toggle it with the button press on the remote. So that's one of the noticeable differences between the two controllers. Now, jumping further into the box here, we have a quick start guide. We already know where this is going. And then you have your USB cable. Now, this is, of course, to make sure that you can actually charge your remote, because this is internal, I believe. I don't believe this one actually has batteries like the previous one does. So that's another noticeable difference. And then going further in, we have a support guide. Same thing, that's going away. And going further into the box, we have the power adapter. Now this is, their standard brick. Nothing too special there. Plain and boring. And then other than that, that is pretty much it. What's inside the box. So again, I was really surprised to see that they actually announced this. I was expecting something a bit more different if they were going to do a refresh, just because all the internals are exactly the same. But what I'm going to go ahead now and do is give you guys an up close look of my 2015 variant of the Nvidia Shield TV, as well as go over some of the noticeable differences between the two. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into that.
So starting off with the first big noticeable change, on the left hand side we have the new 2017 version, which is significantly smaller than the 2015. However, the Pro version of the 2017 is the same size as the 2015 one. Looking at the top of the devices, you're going to notice the 2017 variant has a green accent, whereas the 2015 does not until it's actually powered on. It's also worth mentioning the 2015 variant actually does have an IR receiver. Onto the ports of the 2015 variant, you're going to notice there's a micro SD slot as well as a micro USB port, as well as two USB 3.0s, a Ethernet jack, as well as the HDMI and the power. All these ports are only found on the 2017 variant if you get the Pro version. Now, of course, because both variants are different sizes, you can expect a small weight difference. Nothing too significant, just wanted to mention that. As far as the remotes go, you're going to see the button layout is exactly the same between the two. However, once you look at the bottom, you're going to see on the 2015 variant there's a headphone jack as well as a micro USB port for charging. As far as overall build quality goes, I'm going to have to give that nod to the 2015 variant. It's a bit more heavier and it has a much more premium feel compared to the 2017 version. However, I do want to point out on the 2017 version, you actually need to power the remote with a 3-volt battery as opposed to the charging on the 2015 version. On to the next big improvement, the game controller. The 2017 version has a much more modern texturized look with the micro USB charge port on the top and the headphone jack on the bottom. Overall, I gotta say I'm a big fan of this design. It's much smaller and it feels great in the hand. Honestly, I think for long game sessions, this is gonna be the go-to controller for the Nvidia Shield, because as you can see here on the 2015 version, it's much more similar to the original Xbox controller, which isn't bad, but I'm just not too much of a fan of that big design anymore. As you can see, we have the micro USB charge port and the headphone jack on top and the volume controls on the bottom for this, so it's a bit different of a button layout, but nothing too significant. Overall, I have to give the nod to the 2017 version. Overall, I'm very hard pressed to tell you the 2017 variant is that much better than the 2015 version, especially at the $199 price point, especially since you get more bang for your buck for the 2015 variant. If you want those same ports on the 2017, you'd have to go to the Pro, which is $100 more, putting you at around $300, and honestly, it's just not worth it. I would strongly suggest going third party for the 2015 variant if you can.
So there you guys have it. This was my unboxing of the 2017 Nvidia Shield TV, as well as the up-close comparison differences with the 2015 Nvidia Shield TV. If you guys found this video helpful in any way, please be sure to support the channel and hit the like button down below. And if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe. That way you get some more feature content from me. And if you want to stay up to date with all my upcoming videos, please be sure to follow me on my social media down below at respect_tech951. Until then, this is Paul from Respect the Tech, and I'll see you guys in the next video.